Okay, let's see. It was a few moments, y'all. Okay, we see y'all.
Okay.
Let's see.
Backstage. Yeah, come on.
What
Hey.
What's up, Ghost Waves?
How are y'all
How y'all
doing?
doing? Good, good. How y'all doing?
We are doing good.
That's good.
For our first try here, y'all. I'm gonna try to put this up here so we can
See the chats.
yes. Let's see.
There we go.
All right.
That's good, man.
Yeah, we are super excited.
Yes, we are, man.
So are we.
How was y'all day?
It was good. It was very productive.
Yes,
That's
very,
it.
very
It was
productive.
very, very productive. We were very grateful
Come on.
for it to be productive and fruitful. We got a lot done. We figured out this restream thing and went live in
Yes.
communities
Thanks to y'all,
earlier
family.
today.
Thanks
Thanks
to
to
y'all.
y'all. And
Oh,
it
man.
was,
Listen.
it was such a blessing. Like I was like, oh my God, everything is happening.
It felt fulfilling.
Good. That's good, man. We helpers to one another. You know, I'm all about that.
Amen.
You know, big believer in that.
Okay, so we're gonna just dive in. I know Justin want to have a real quick word of prayer, and then we're gonna talk all things marriage, y'all, and just feel free to just unleash everything, because I know there's a lot of questions we're gonna ask, and there's a lot of requests and questions that people have given us to ask. So we just gonna have a good time, y'all.
Okay, I'm all for it. Let's prayer.
Word of prayer. Lord, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, God, for another opportunity. We thank you for this day. And we ask, Lord, that you have your way, God. We just pray, God, that you be glorified in everything we say and do. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Hold on.
Well, and we know y'all been married for quite some time, so we want you to tell the viewers like how y'all met, everything like that. How long you guys been married?
We've been married for 12 years. We just made 12
The
years.
lovebirds.
15. We've been together for 15. It'll be 15 in August.
Yes.
And it has been
a roller coaster ride.
It's been a roller coaster, but one of the
Beautiful,
funnest, the
great
best roller coaster we've
thrills.
ever been on.
Yes.
I am, we've been very open about our journey and our struggles and our triumphs and everything on our platform. But we're still learning, we're still growing, we're still figuring it all out.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's definitely been quite the 12 years.
Been quite the 12 years, a lot of growth, development, spiritual growth, mental, emotional, patience, resilience. I mean, growth on all angles of life. And I'm really thankful for the experience that we have had together. 15 years being together and 12 years of marriage.
Yeah.
A whole lot going there. It helped us like really, really grow.
Man, that's a blessing.
That's what it is.
It is. It has been for sure. I think
Yeah.
I don't
So
think I'm live on
you
Instagram.
trying to check?
Yeah, I'm trying to see
So we
if we're
did.
actually on live on Instagram.
So we did meet.
It's showing it over here.
It's showing. You see our Instagram there? Okay.
I see it on my end. Let me see.
Okay. I can't. But it's okay.
Yeah, show up sooner or later. Anyway.
So
Yes.
of course, y'all know Joseph and Essence, of course, y'all already know that, but we've been married 16 years. God has just put it on us the marriage makeover because there was a time in our marriage where it had to be made over.
Yeah.
Right.
8 years ago, we had a daughter with special needs, and so she stayed in the NICU for 425 days, which took our marriage on a roller coaster, y'all.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine. We had 3 other kids at home. Her, the daughter that was in the NICU plus her sister were 8 months apart. So we got one in the NICU and one barely walking. So it was a lot.
Wow.
I can't imagine. I seriously can't imagine.
The trial was very tough. It was very tough. But the beauty of it,
through.
yeah, and the beauty of it, man, coming out on the other side of that thing, because we definitely had our trials, we definitely went through our storms.
Yeah.
And we had to learn to allow the Lord to lead us and make us over, to be patient with one another, to love one another, what love really means, all those things. And we had to learn on the fly. Those that don't know us, we didn't go through premarital counsel like some married couples do. We didn't go through the norm. I didn't come from a background where we've seen healthy marriages. My father.
Don't feel bad. We did premarital counseling and we still struggle. So
yes.
See?
So how was premarital counsel? Because I hear a lot of stuff that goes on in premarital counsel is really not preparing you for marriage.
We did like the Christian premarital counseling. So ours was based on the idea of marriage.
And as far as God's
plan for marriage, and then we had put some scriptures to us about fulfilling our needs and the priority in marriage and how we're going to cover each other and walk with God together and how we put those pieces together. Once you get married, you go through your psychological and spiritual, your mental, all those pieces. Like you rely on the reality of yourself. And you sometimes forget about going to God about it and having God little because you're feeling in the flesh so much that you handle it from a worldly standpoint. You handle it from a worldly standpoint, get worldly challenges. We find out that we cannot defeat it just by sight. We need to go to God together as a union. So that's when we start learning together to come together as a union to start attacking the problems as a union and seeing the problem as itself and us not the problem, but the problem itself. And that's what really helped us out. But we didn't recognize that power at the beginning. We had the idea of it, but the consistency of using that power that God has in our marriage, we didn't consistent with God all the time on it.
But I will say I wish premarital counseling was definitely more in depth on what the couple is currently dealing with, or issues the couple may currently be dealing with, and giving them tools how to overcome that. And I don't remember us ever being asked of anything we're currently dealing with, or anything we're currently having to overcome, or anything we've had to overcome in our relationship. It definitely wasn't more like therapy. It was more like, okay, you're getting married, and here's some things that you need to know, and then move on. And I think that would probably help a lot of couples with getting through the
Listen, they can't hear us clearly, y'all. Let's see.
Yeah. Two comments said they can't hear it clearly. There's some feedback.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see some sound issues.
Apologize about that, guys. Hold on.
No, it's okay.
They're saying there's a lot of feedback.
From our end?
Oh, say from the grosses end. Yeah.
Do you have any of your other volumes up? Maybe.
Let me see here. Maybe this is too loud. Let's see here. How does that sound better?
Sound good to us.
Maybe it was too loud.
How that sound, YouTube? Is that better? There's not any background noise. That sound a lot more clear.
Can hear you guys over here, and looks like
you can hear us over there.
Okay.
Yes.
Y'all got bear with us.
There is a still small feedback.
Software for this joint live.
Yeah.
It's not better. Voice sounding from afar.
Sounding from afar, someone said.
Is there a way that we can get out and get back in?
I know I'm gonna put this YouTube, not this is the YouTube thing.
Video settings, let me see.
Audio.
Mirror camera. Video input. Okay. Video resolution.
Let's see here.
I don't know. I wonder, is there a way we can get out and come back in?
What about now? Can I hear it? Y'all sound better over here now. What about now?
We sound better now.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I don't hear the feedback now.
Let's hear somebody from the comments. Does the gross way sound better, guys? Let's see. Yeah, over here you guys sound good.
We sound good over
Yeah,
there.
y'all sound a lot.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they can hear you guys.
If you guys can drop a chat, one in the chat to let us know that it sound better.
Okay,
Much better.
Val says much better. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Yeah. I was making sure.
Right.
B. Eli says yes, better. Okay, so we in there.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
We in there.
We in there.
Man.
Thank you.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
So premarital counsel. So it's not a one thing fix all kind of deal. It sounds like from based on your experience on premarital counsel, because there's issues, there's things that's still going to arise that premarital counsel still don't prepare you for.
Prepare you for. I definitely think if you're going to do premarital counseling, I think you should just go to find a couples therapist. And just do actual therapy together. I think that doing therapy together as a preventative would be so beneficial. It's something that we know now, though. We didn't do it, and we wish we would have.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of awareness of where you are, also awareness of where you are in a union. So you know, how you are as an individual, and also how you are when mixing in life with someone else. You know your position and where you at, and if anything that's never been put to test, now you know what to be more aware of. You never thought about any particular questions, particular scenarios, so it kind of mentally prepare you for that, so you can go into it with better awareness and better problem solving and better tools you can utilize.
Yes.
I definitely think it can be extremely. I think it can be extremely beneficial if you just do therapy altogether. Just do it. I think that a lot of people don't realize that you may not think you need therapy, but you might have things you've suppressed over the years that you've just kind of been living with. Things you've been wearing, and you don't realize that they're even on you, and that they seeped into your bloodstream. And so I think that doing just regular therapy would be so much better than couples not doing anything, and definitely better than doing premarital counseling, typical premarital counseling.
Yeah, we definitely didn't have it. I'm telling you, we had much prayer, much fasting. There was a lot of stuff we had to just kind of work out in private. God had to work some things out of both of us. I mean, I tell you, that first 5 years of marriage is gonna listen.
And I mean, time you're still learning each other. Yeah, you're still learning each other. You're living with each other at that time, and then children come into play. So it's a lot that goes on at one time too. So it just seems like, in the beginning for us, everything was going 100 miles per hour. So we had to say, hold on, wait a minute, because this thing is going to work, but it takes communication and effective communication.
Definitely
finding out what works for my wife. She had to find out what works for me, what love language helps us to be able to receive from one another. So a lot of times we're taught, communicate, but effective communication is also listening. And you're not really taught that a lot when you're coming up. So I had to learn to listen,
Listening
along the way.
Listening, understanding communication styles, what her communication style is, what mine is, to know how to reach the center of the subject you're talking about without making it feel like you're going around circles to get to that point for them, so they can understand your point where you're coming from when you're conversating about it, so that way you can hit them the right way, they can receive it the right way, and then you get the right kind of feedback that you need that can help you out. And just preparing for those hard conversations too, because a lot of hard conversations are the ones that's being avoided. And the sooner and earlier you have those hard conversations, the better, because you're really taking advantage of the time in your marriage and also the time to start making arrangements to get things fixed in your marriage. Being aware of it, putting it out there. It might be a problem that you might talk about in the beginning of your marriage, and 5 years later it hasn't been solved, but at least you identified it in the beginning instead of identifying it 5 years later. You know what I mean? It's like, but we can identify, hey, this is a really big problem in our marriage. We tried to do this since our first year, it's 4 years now. We haven't overcame this. You just find out how to seek help and work stuff out.
That's good. So I will ask, how do you guys handle conflict, like just with the marriage? Since you guys been married for such a long time, how do you how do you handle conflict?
Okay. Before I answer that question, let me do something real quick, because I really don't think we're connected to Instagram. And
okay, maybe not.
We're not connected to Instagram, but I really don't think, and I would hate for them to miss out on this conversation.
Okay, yeah. Just let us know what we need to do.
Yeah.
We gotta, get off and get back on or whatever. We can do that too.
I really don't think I'm connected. And
on your did you press go live on your separate Instagram? Where you got the key thing from? It should have been a little button that said go live where it shows you the preview.
I don't think I did. I really don't think we did. Hold on. Is he going to give me the same exact key code?
It may not. But we can, if we need to hop off and hop back on, that's fine too, y'all.
Hold on. Now, let me see if I can just redo the key code. And if I can just redo the key code. Yeah, okay. Look at God. Okay. God said he's going to work it out for us.
Come on.
Come on now.
God says there is a way. Okay. There is a way. And he's going to make this work for us. Okay. And so we're sending data.
That's it.
And then, okay. And so now we're going to go live.
Work out in our favor. There we go. There we go. Come on. All right. God is going to work it out for our good.
Look at him. Look at him.
He's faithful.
I'm glad
He's
that
faithful.
I spoke up, and I'm glad I
come on.
Man, ain't that like God?
God is
like
good.
God.
And just make sure. Can you guys hear us on Instagram?
Oh yeah, good question.
Look, I'm about to check. Yep, we are live now. Look at God. Good evening.
Come on.
Good evening. Good evening.
Oh, good. That is good.
It says we're a little slanted.
Maybe because you're staying to the screen. Because it's 15 seconds out.
We can't see everyone.
Okay.
See.
Yes, I can hear.
Let me cut this camera off and cut it back on. See, does that help? Oh yeah. Let's see the screen as source.
See how you stopped and did that. So it's singing from that side.
They can hear.
Okay, they can hear. Okay,
try doing it. Try taking off the comments on the screen right here.
Okay, hold on just a second.
And see if that brings us in more.
Yeah, because all we can see is both of the wives.
Y'all bear with us. We're trying to get it together.
Okay, what about now? Let's see if can they see us now?
Just give it a couple of seconds. It's like a delay, so you can
let's see.
Let's see this.
Okay. Now we're side to side.
Now it sees me, and I can see me.
No,
but
they can't.
They can't see you? Okay, let's see. Now what we can...
Let's see here.
Yeah, we trying to figure this out. We are so sorry. Let's see. Change avatar. No, not change.
Let's see here.
Let me show y'all what it looks like. It's like half of both screens.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's see.
Is there a way we can?
What about now?
Let's see. Let's see how it's gonna look on Instagram. In a second.
He said technology is difficult. I know technology horrible.
What it look like now? Does it bring us in closer?
So it brings us in like this now.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
I mean, we can. You want to hop up and do it on separate devices, or? I mean, it's okay either way. We got time. Listen.
Right. We might.
We want the conversation to be good. We want them to be able to ask
right.
questions.
And that's why I didn't want to answer that question yet, because I'm like, I want them to. I want everybody to get it. YouTube see both couples.
Check the orientation on the orientation on the it may need to be put on portrait or landscape.
It won't let us. It looks like they got it locked. Because it give us the option to look. Set it up.
You know what we can do. You know what we can do. Yeah, and so the view is good on our Facebook and our YouTube. So you know what we can do is we can take off Instagram here and just go regular Instagram live and sit the
okay, let's do that.
So let's just go.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put our camera on pause really quick. And then I need to grab I gotta grab a stand real quick. Hold on, y'all.
Okay, no, you're fine. We'll take Instagram off. And then they can request for us to join them on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll make it happen one way or the other.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
I'm not concerned about making it happen at all.
We're gonna make it happen, family.
This is just the enemy trying to stop this conversation, and that's what we're not gonna do. That's what we're not gonna do over here. Thank you so much, Juanita. Thank you so much, Sharnae. Thank you so much, Molly. We appreciate y'all. Y'all hang in there with us, okay? We're coming. This conversation's gonna be too good. Hang in there with us. Make sure y'all got y'all pen and paper.
Technology is trying to work its course right now.
And we can just sit that right there like that. That way the conversation can be had on both phones. I think it's not like Instagram just wasn't optimized for.
Oh yeah, for it. We'll see. All right. Yeah, thank you, Juanita. Yeah, that everything good on YouTube. All right. We'll see. That's showing up good right there.
Oh, now it is.
Now it's showing good. Now it's showing good now. So
now it's showing.
But
when I was trying to,
yeah, it's showing right now.
Is it showing on Instagram? I mean, is it showing on the?
Now it's showing. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you
on Restream. Is it showing on Restream?
Let me see here. Go back to it. Oh no, it's not.
See, on my end,
it was
on my people's end, it's not showing good. But on your people's end, for whatever reason,
probably because I'm on. Are you on a computer on your Instagram? Because I'm on a computer.
I'm on the computer on Restream.
So what about your Instagram? See, when you hooked up to Instagram, you just open up a different tab. And so
Right.
like I have 2 tabs open up, and one of my tabs.
So I mean, last time you was on Instagram.
Yeah, I was on the Instagram tab. Yeah. What happened to it? I didn't get out of it.
Oh, okay. They said it's tight on you guys' end, but they can fully see it.
Yeah. Let's see why it's okay. It's still
Okay,
showing.
It's not okay. Hold on, let's see.
Yeah, it's still showing.
Let's see. Okay, well we can.
Well, like I said, we can go live regularly on Instagram and then leave the Facebook and YouTube up.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Hey guys, we're gonna jump off of here really quickly, so just hang tight for us.
Because you can edit the channels that see the live. When you click on them at the top right hand corner, you can cut off Instagram.
So that's let me do that. Okay.
You can cut off Instagram, and then we can go live regularly on Instagram. So you can jump on Instagram live, and then we can you can jump on Instagram live, and then we can. What am I trying to say? You can jump on Instagram live and then request. We can request to join, and we can join you that way on Instagram separately.
Okay, hold on just a second. For some reason, it's not letting us
get off the live.
So we're off of it. Let's see.
I don't see it. It's not letting us either. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say in live on the okay, discard video. Okay, and so maybe now that'll let us take it off. Okay. Okay, now Instagram is
okay.
off.
There it goes. Hold on, just a second.
Okay, and so now go live on Instagram, and then when I see y'all pop up, I'll send a request. We are so sorry.
That's okay.
Now, this is how you know the message is fire. Enemy trying to stop it.
Come on. Come on now.
I'm coming.
You better say that.
I'm coming. Send a request.
Let's do it, y'all. We're gonna make it happen.
You know, we're gonna make the devil out of a liar tonight.
Amen.
We're gonna make him out of a liar tonight. So.
Let's go.
He gets no.
Yeah.
He gets no. The devil gets no. He gets no glory.
Let's go. Okay. Now back to this amazing question.
Y'all, you're gonna be looking left and right. You know, we got Facebook and YouTube on one side.
What's
we got
up?
Instagram on the left.
What's up, Instagram? Thank y'all for hanging on and hanging in there. We appreciate y'all coming back.
Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook, thank y'all for hanging in there. Trust me, y'all not gonna regret it. This conversation is about to be amazing. We sat on the phone with this couple for 4 hours yesterday because the conversation was good. So, trust me, y'all about to get some real life love and gems today. I appreciate y'all. There we go.
Okay, is it a feedback? Do they have a feedback?
Oh, practice in school.
Oh, and but you know what? We can turn volume all the way down.
Hold on, who's saying? Are we good on y'all end over there?
We good. Can y'all hear us clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. No feed. Is it a feedback?
That sound like a little
It's saying
feedback
phone
still.
volume down.
Yeah, there's some feedback.
Somebody said put one on
All
you.
right, what about now, y'all?
Over there. Put one over there at a distance, like maybe right here.
Right there.
That way. Okay.
All right, there we go.
All right. Put them over a little bit away from each other.
All right.
Okay. Everybody good?
Yes.
Yeah, we good. I just want to be able to look at the comments really quick. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I think we're good.
All right.
What was the question?
And before we move forward, y'all, if y'all can share this live with about 5 people y'all know who could benefit from this live, because we're talking all things marriage, relationships, and everything like that. So if you guys can share this live with about 5 people on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, great.
Yes, like, share, and comment.
Right.
We want to hear from y'all.
Okay.
So what was that question again?
Handling conflict, wasn't it?
Handling conflict.
Handling conflicts, yes.
When adversity arises, because it's just a matter of time. Adversity will arise, right? When you've been married longer than 5 years, even that first year, I would say that first year of marriage is probably one of the toughest years of marriage. I know me and my wife, I didn't think we was gonna make it. We had our trials. It was warfare, but
it was definitely warfare. I didn't listen. I definitely thought we would have been divorced 10 times over by now, but but God, because the first year, you're learning each other. I mean, coming from 2 separate backgrounds, it's just a lot of different things that you have to really become one flesh. And getting to know each other. It was a lot. I say the first couple of years, people say the first year, but if I can be honest and transparent, it's the first couple of years, and yet you're still growing and maneuvering in marriage, because it's going to be forever evolving and forever changing.
So many people forget those vows. It says for better or for worse. So the worst is gonna come, but you got to be there for it. You got to be there for your spouse.
I feel like we don't realize just how important those vows are in the beginning. I feel like so many of us, especially in the Black community, so many of us don't have that. Trying to see if this helps with the. No, it's an echo. Put these back. Y'all have feedback again.
Double speakers.
Okay. Turn the phone down.
All right. Okay. How's it now? Instagram better?
We can hear.
Say that one more time.
One more time. You sound low, Jonathan, a little bit.
Okay, you got to turn it up then. It's like a speaker phone.
Can you hear us?
Oh, y'all sound pretty good to me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. But I think that a lot of us don't have that example when we first get married. A lot of us aren't raised seeing healthy marriages and healthy love. And so when those vows are read, at the wedding day, you're on such a high. Yes. You're like, oh my God, I'm getting married all these years. She's so amazing. She's so beautiful. Da 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 da. Yep. And you don't realize just how important those vows are. You don't realize that there are going to be times where those vows are going to be tested. Mm-hmm. And it might happen right away. It might not happen 5 years down the line. It might happen within 6 months. And so that's why we share the way we do, because we want couples to understand, look, the work happens the minute you say I do.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But how we resolve conflict.
I think in the beginning, we had to struggle because we was struggling to understand our communication styles. And I'm gonna tell you, mostly on my end, I put fire into conflict because I was failing to take accountability when I was wrong with a lot of things. Like she would tell me how this made her feel, like this was going on, and I wouldn't take accountability for it. And the fact I wouldn't take accountability for it, it would anger her more because you're not seeing what I'm bringing to you, and you don't want to admit to your fault in this and why I'm feeling this way. So now she's spending time articulating what she got to say to me about how it's making her feel and everything, so I can understand it. Putting that kind of energy in it for me to see what I did wrong, to take accountability for it, is a lot of frustration in that because it was happening over and over and over again because I was taking accountability straight off the bat. So that part of conflict, I was putting fire in. Once I learned how to take accountability on what I did wrong, that's when I really started and go for myself into listening to her, see where I went wrong, apologizing, and then trying to come with a common ground of where we want to meet at for this conversation. We're going with conflict. So we are always talk about what is going to be the common destination in this conflict. What is that we're wishing for to get out of this? And I think that to myself, like I really am zoned in to the final results of this conversation and where we want to be the end result. And I connect my heart to getting to that part of it. So being patient and being aware, and if it goes in a direction that's not. So really, like for me on my end, I knew that I had
We're
to
having a
really.
hard time. It's going in and out.
It's because it's echoing. So it's echoing on Instagram. Whenever I push mute on my end, it stops echoing on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. I probably meet this.
So yeah, but if they mute their phone, mute your Instagram and see if that helps. That way they can hear him on the restream too. Okay. 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 I think we figured it out.
Come on.
Figured it out. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I'll start back from the beginning so everybody hear really clearly. When it comes to handling the conflict, my struggle handling the conflict was always taking accountability. I never did take accountability and see where I was wrong at and see it from her perspective to understand how I am making her upset, how I am consistently putting her in a place to where she's upset about the situation. I just always felt to take accountability for that. And that was throwing more fire to the conflict. I was raising more fire in there and making her go into a position where she had to explain to me over hours. I'm talking about we like up
Man.
midnight and 3 a.m. closing it out because of me not taking accountability, me not seeing where I was wrong at, and she's spending the energy to repeat herself. And now keep in mind, I had to learn that her repeating herself, it really is her. So it's gonna raise her temperature up even more. That
That's
I got
like my pet
mentally and
peeve.
emotionally, I have to explain this over and over again for him to get it. Like, still wrong yet. After I showed it to him, after an hour of showing it to him, he still not getting it. He still taking accountability. That was burning her up. And after I started seeing that it's burning her up, that's doing that. So I need to start taking accountability when I'm wrong. So I took accountability when I was wrong, and then you see her temperature go down. And then she can explain to me why it's making her feel this way. Then, when I know I'm wrong, I apologize that I'm wrong. And come up with a solution how I'm going to come back and fix the situation and what I'm going to do from here on forth, how I'm going to change my behavior in the situation and make the whole thing better. And at the same time, while all this is happening, right? Say if she's upset, she's mad at me. If she's mad, she must be mad at me. So if her temperature is up, if a tone of her voice is in a certain area, I'd say, listen, she's mad. I made this happen now. I did this. I made this happen. I can't tell you need to calm down and you come down. Hey, I caused that problem. You gotta take some of that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm listening and keeping my temperature in the right place to be able to receive what's going on because I'm causing this problem. And at the end of the day, I'm focused on the end result in this conversation. Like I want to make this conflict situation right. The conflict resolution. I want it to be to where she's in a great place. That that her heart and her mind and soul feels good. She gonna still looking in my eyes, say, "Hey, that's why I love you. That's why you are my husband.
That's good.
You were showing me
So
that
let
you
me ask you this,
understand me."
Jonathan. What would you tell a wife who's struggling with a husband right now that ain't taking accountability?
What I would do if a wife is struggling right now with husband taking accountability, this is the first thing I would do. If you're in a wife's position, you know what the results that you want in the conversation. You know where you want to be at in the conversation. You really gotta connect your heart to that, because soon as you lose sight of that and go left, you're gonna go into the wilderness of different emotions, different feelings, different thoughts. Now you might be bringing up stuff from the past, raising more problems up into it, because what you've been thinking about from 8 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m. till he get off of work. When he gets home, the first sentence you say equals automatic left misreaction. Now you lost the whole conversation, lost control of it. So you gotta say, I gotta have a conversation planner built into my heart, my mind, and my soul, as the Holy Spirit to guide me throughout this whole conversation, that I will stay on subject and not allow him to throw my emotions off track, and stay on to it. So where you stand firm and stand on business about what you want from your husband and what you want for him to hear from you, and stay consistent with it all the time. And once you do that over and over and over again, you have proof that you are not bringing fire to the conversation. You are bringing the problem to the conversation, and
Yeah.
your husband's reaction to it is what's making their problem worse. So are you seeing? I'm not screaming at you. I'm not hollering at you. I'm coming to you sincerely from a loving heart, out of concern, because I want our marriage to be in a better place. I mean, for our marriage, it's not for me. It's for our marriage. Our marriage is gonna be in a better place. So that's why I want you to hear this. If you care about our marriage being in a better place, then you would take concern to this and want to help fix this situation. So if I was, I would say that. But I think got some more.
Well,
Yes.
so I watch Jane the Virgin. I binge watch Jane the Virgin. That's my show, right? I might binge watch it again now that I said it. And in the show, on one of the episodes, Jane wanted to confront her grandmother about something that happened with Raphael, and she checked her temperature before she confronted her about it. She said, "How are you feeling?" And she was like, "You're not upset about Jorge because I'm mad at you, but I won't ask you if you're still upset." Like, she checked her grandmother's temperature before confronting her
Yeah.
about these issues. It's one of the biggest things that I had to recognize in helping him be able to be accountable is
Yeah.
if him and he come in the house after 15 hours at work, you approaching him at the door with this is probably not the best way to get accountability.
There you go.
Attacked. He's gonna feel uncared. He's not gonna feel cared about. He's not gonna feel like any concern about him and how his day went. That is not the best time to let get his shoes off, sit down for a second. You sit right next to him, be like, "You good now? You good?
Yes,
You're
that's
relaxed.
good.
You're
got,
feeling
There
great.
you go.
Here's a beer. You feeling good? Okay, we need to have this conversation.
I'm listening, baby. Go ahead.
Allow him to get his mind in a place to have that conversation.
Yes.
Especially our Black men, because they're out here slaying demons, slaying dragons all day.
Yeah.
Come
And
on.
so
That's
we
a good
can't
point.
see another dragon for them to slay.
Man.
If we want results, if we want change, if we,
Come on.
like, it can't be another dragon for him to slay. So I think that was my issue in the beginning too. Like, first of all, I think knowing your partner's buttons is just as important as knowing their love language.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Them off, knowing
Come
what
on.
takes them left. And at the end of the
That's
day, you
good.
can be the most godly person in the world. You can be the most God-fearing person in the world. But at the end of the day, everybody got a button.
Yep.
Yeah.
None of us are perfect. We
Yes.
are all human. Everybody has a button. My button It's being gaslit. I do not being. I don't like being told I'm wrong about something that at the end of the day I am feeling. My feelings are valid, whether you understand them or not. And I don't like being lied to. I want truth, honesty, because you're always going to get that from me. Know that when you are about to approach me about anything or we're having a conversation, but and with him, his buttons is being misunderstood. His buttons is being overtalked. He don't like when you won't allow him, like he just bursts, like he'll be talking and I gotta make my point. And so I start talking, shut him down. But after so many shutdowns, now he's like, you know what? Forget it. You're not gonna let me talk. And it was combustion.
Yeah.
And so understanding that he needs the floor. When it's his time to talk, I need to shut up. And him understanding that you basically looking at me in my eyes and telling me I'm wrong for how I feel is not gonna get you the result.
No.
And once we figured that out, that's when we were able to thrive. I still talk over him from time to time. And from time to time, he still struggles to understand that my feelings are my feelings. You need to deal with them and realize you were wrong. Whether you think you were wrong or not, you were wrong from time to time. But we navigate through it differently because we get it. We get each other. We get that's just who we are. And when we bring it to each other, we don't fight against it like we used to.
There
If
you
he
go.
says, I'm talking, I'm like, you know what, you're right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There we go.
That's good.
And that's good.
Or
And that's
if I'm like,
good.
you're making excuses. You're deflected. You're not acknowledging my feelings. And he'll be like, you know what, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
Like we maneuver through it differently because
good.
while I do think people have the ability to change, I think change in anyone is more so adapting, figuring out how to navigate the person that you are in a way that it doesn't hurt the people that you love.
Yeah.
Because it's our genetic makeup. Who we are is who we are. It's just how we are genetically created. And so I don't think that people can necessarily completely like cut off who they are like that. And when you start to look at it differently, when you start to look at it as I need to adapt, don't fight to change because you're gonna lose the fight and you're gonna be frustrated and you're never going to win this war between you and your husband and life, right? Because the war is really your husband on one side and life on that side, right? And so you're never going to win the war together if you're so focused on changing out your armor. No, you just need to make it, you just need to figure out how to make the armor you have work for your marriage. So I'm a talker, and that's just how it is. I have a point, and I want to get it across, and it does go long. But at the end of the day, while that's not a bad thing, there's times where that's not a bad thing.
Right.
I gotta know when to shut that down a little bit. And sometimes I just need a little notice. Hey, making you aware you're doing it again. You know what? I bet. I'm sorry. Go proceed. And we continue like it's such a peaceful,
That's good. And that's
so
what you
much more of a
learn.
peaceful exchange.
Yes. And you learn to extend grace and mercy with each other as you continue in the marriage. And that's one thing we had to learn to do, because again, you make a good point. We human, so we're gonna make mistakes, right? So if I'm pointing out all of her flaws, that's not gonna do any good in the home. That's not gonna do any good in the marriage because all I'm saying is what you're doing, pointing out all your wrongdoing, your faults. But that's not benefiting anything, so vice versa. If she's constantly coming at me and the atmosphere ain't right, even though her valid, she may have valid points, but her tone, the tone makes a difference, so we have to learn how to respect each other, extend grace with each other, and forgive each other.
That's so true. I was very bad at like just saying whatever was on my mind when we first got married because I really didn't have the example to communicate. So if I felt angry, you was gonna understand that I was angry today. So I had to understand, like, no, I have to take a step back And I had to work through that because a lot of it was trauma. You know, we don't talk a lot about trauma, but trauma, you can carry that into your marriage. And I carried a lot of trauma in the marriage in the beginning. And there was things that I could cut you, honey, and I could say whatever I wanted to say, but it wasn't of God. You know, it's not what God intended. And so I had to learn how to respond in a loving and an affected way to help my husband, because if you know men, and y'all can tap into this anytime y'all get ready, when a woman's talking to you any type of way, you're not receiving that. If I'm coming to you like, oh, this is, my husband was not having it, though he's a sweet man, he's a very humble guy, but if I was yelling or he would shut completely down.
Yeah,
that's him.
Hey, what happens is we go from listening to hearing. And all I hear was a voice that's articulating itself with some anger, some conviction. So now I'm looking at the emotion and your anger instead of, okay, this is what she's feeling. This is nothing else. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, no. So you want to listen? Hey, this whole time I was really observing your anger and your conviction, your voice. Like I say, man, how did I get up to this point? Like I'm thinking to myself, like, man, you know, I got her this mad, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm not even focused on the problem anymore. I'm focused on how she's dealing with the problem.
Yes,
that's good.
And I had to, you know, we have two different noticing. I feel like, and again, this is something that I feel like should be talked about in couples therapy when you get married. That's why premarital counseling, throw that out the door. Go to actual couples therapy, because these topics like communication styles and things like that need to be discussed before marriage. Because knowing each other's communication styles, how they work, what are your triggers for that communication style escalated? What are how do you cope with, you know, that communication style being a little growing over time, like all figuring out the communication styles and how they work together and what needs to evolve about them is so important. And we didn't think about that. We didn't talk about that. We didn't, when we first got married, we didn't, that wasn't a thing. And so we didn't even realize communication styles was a thing until we realized our communication was like two trains coming the same, like this. Like we would have conversations and it was colliding. And it wasn't, hold on. Jonathan's train was always still on the track. It was my train, 100 miles an hour, right in the head, just crashing right. And I had to reckon, because Jonathan is a passive communicator.
Yeah, I'm passive, and I'm more calm and passive. And on track. I'm trying to be like as conscious as possible in the conversation, because end of the day, once you lose your sense of consciousness in there, once you start to lack it, then actions come out. And actions turn to so many other different things. Actions turns to like what you did yesterday. Now you talking about other stuff. You pointing out other things because now your emotion is triggered. Your nervous system is shocked up. And then all that stuff is send stuff back to your brain that does not make sense. Having a very, very good conversation about a problem, something that's going to save your marriage. And that's the most part that I thought about the most. Thing, hey, how can I save my marriage in this conversation right now? Me doing an outburst is not going to help, because I'll just more fire into this kind of environment that she's used to being to. She's used to being an environment where she's defending herself. I'm a fighter. So if I'm defending myself, I'm a pro defender. So if you come back with some hot words, I'm coming back with some more hotter words. After a while, up in this house, I don't have water on her. I'm putting that fire down. Let's get down to the corner.
Come on.
Get there.
He used to say that all the time. I'd be like, you don't have no fire. You don't say nothing. Like you're not in this conversation with me. And he was like, if I did, I would be like you. And where would we get? How would that go? If I came at you the way you came at me, how would that go? And I'm like, okay, you got a point. And but I mean, when I tell you, it's all about safe spaces. I did not give him a safe space to learn how to communicate in a
Come
more
on, that's important.
I shut him down and made him even more passive than he was before. And so he had even more, he had even less to say than he was before. You see this, Jonathan, y'all getting today?
Yes.
It's because at the end of the day, I learned how to again shut up. I literally sit back, and I'm even amazed at myself sometimes how I literally sit back and be like, just like this.
That's good.
Come on.
When he's talking,
that's so important. That's so
just
good.
like that. Because at the end of the day, in the past, it was literally and it was getting us any.
No. Going back and forth.
Space.
Going back and forth, you'll never get anywhere. Going back and forth. So you have to just come up with solutions and not magnify the problem.
Come up with solutions and not magnify the problem. Exactly.
Yes. And then we have to remember, especially when children are involved, children are watching us. So that's a big thing too that helped us, be better, because we're like, hold on, what type of children are we gonna raise? If they seeing mama and daddy going back and forth, that's not gonna be good for them. That's not good for them mentally, spiritually, emotionally. So we have to be great examples for them, ourselves, and more importantly, the father. So that was like a reality check, like, whoa, we gotta really take a look and be made over, because I don't want to train my son to treat his wife any type of way when he decides to get married. And then I don't want to train my daughter to think it's okay that, man, dad talked to mom like that, so it's okay for this man to talk. So we have to be very careful when it comes to how we treat each other, because when you have children, they are watching. They may not say everything they see, but they definitely watch. So
it affects them too. I mean, because like I said in the beginning, our oldest son, he got to see everything. He didn't see the delivered side that needed to be delivered, and now the healed version. But it is so imperative, like my husband said, to make sure that we are conscious of the kids, because that'll put a lot on them. I remember one time when we was going through in our marriage early on, and next thing you know, this was during the time when our daughter was in the hospital. Our 14-year-old, who's now 14 at the time, I think he was 5 or 6 or something like that, 7. He was having a bad time in school, y'all. I said, now who is this kid? He was tearing up classrooms. He was doing all kind of stuff. But we realized so much switched overnight for him, and he could not process what was going on. So it made him act out. A lot of times we want to just say, okay, you're in trouble. What no, we sat down and said, what is going on? Because this is just not your character. This is not who you are. And he was dealing with everything that was going on. And so it's very important that we are mind conscious of the kids.
Yes. So I was just gonna say, so now if we're having an important conversation or we had a disagreement, we learn how to table it and we talk amongst each other. We don't even talk in front of the children. That's just something we've learned just over the years in marriage. Like, we got to look out for them, because nobody gonna look out for your children like us, like the parents. So we've been very mindful of that now.
That is, oh my gosh. I remember the first time I realized how much what was going on in our marriage was affecting London.
Yes.
We were getting ready to go to church. And this was about 2 weeks before I found out I was pregnant with Autumn. And we were getting ready to go to church. And we were fighting.
Wow.
We were fighting bad. And London came in between us. Now, keep in mind, she was 2.5. She came in between us and she said, "Stop fighting!"
Wow.
More fighting. And I swear, I broke down that day so bad. But I said, you know what? We gotta go to church.
Come on.
We need to go to church anytime, any other time. We need to go today. And I cried all the way there. I cried all the way to the service. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little disconnected from him. We weren't holding hands and stuff like that like we normally would. And I left church not knowing what was gonna happen in our marriage. And It was bad. It was bad. I didn't know
Yeah.
what was going to happen before. I was like, I don't want that life for her because I lived that life.
Mhm.
I watched
Yeah.
my sister fight my whole life, and so I didn't want that for her.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
Me
did
either. I
not
didn't want
want
that
that
for
for
her. Yeah,
her.
I didn't want
I
to download
didn't
that kind of stuff
see
from us.
healthy conflict at all.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I definitely I definitely, I think that was a very pivotal moment in our marriage.
Mhm.
And then we found out we were pregnant with Autumn. And so my sister, I remember she said when she found out I was pregnant, she said, "Bring this baby in this world in love and peace."
Yes. Come on. That's good.
And I said, you right.
That's right.
That's exactly what we're gonna do.
That's what we
And
did.
that's exactly what we did. By the time Autumn was born, we were in such a better place. And we at this point were 3 years into our marriage when we got pregnant, 4 years, almost just made 4 years into our marriage when she was born. And we definitely started to see the light shine over us
Yes,
so
most
much brighter
definitely.
than it had before.
Yes.
And I mean,
Yes.
but I'm not gonna lie, for me, because I didn't see healthy conflict, I do think that it's important for our kids, especially since we have such
Yeah.
very strong-minded kids, very strong-minded, strong-willed, very determined kids. They're a lot like me when it comes to them being very alpha female. And I think that it's important for them to see me have healthy conflict with him,
Mhm.
Yes.
apologize when I need to
Yeah.
apologize,
That's right.
and I do think that certain conversations, we try. I ain't gonna lie, we try. It be me. It be me. I want to have it right then and there. I don't care
Like
about
good
them
times.
kids sitting in that back seat. We need to have this conversation before we get to this goddamn on restaurant, or we get to this birthday party, or we get to this place
Gotta get
that
off
we're.
your chest.
I gotta get it off my chest. But I do want to learn to table certain conversations
Yeah.
so once
Yeah.
they are no longer
Yes.
in our presence in their sleep. But I
Yeah.
think the smaller conversations, it's nice for them to see daddy and mommy have a
Yes.
healthy disagreement,
Right.
and
Yes.
and show accountability, show each
Yes.
other grace, show each other love,
Mhm.
despite the differences. And I, I think to help them to, like, our kids, they love our love. And
Yes.
I'm so grateful for that because, again, before Autumn was born, it was just London. That poor baby been through some things. That poor London been through some things. Poor London, she done seen it all. And I
Yes.
just, I'm grateful that now they see this is what love,
Yes.
God's way looks like.
Yes.
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 That is so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so good.
God's way.
So how do y'all deal with like parents? You know, I think for me early on, I was just the strictest one. I mean, my husband let the kids get away with anything. I think the role. I think I'm more. I think we're both more what laid
Yeah.
back now.
So he's more laid back, I'm more strict.
Yeah, I'm more laid back. I think I'm more like I look at situations and I kind of put them in quadrants. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I just be a kid. You know what I mean? So I know the curiosity
Yep.
of a child running and playing, doing things, and I know
Sure.
when I need to speak to him. Like, hey, okay, you on level 4 now. You on level 4 type of plan. You gotta chill out. But if you on 1, 2, and 3, if you 1, 2, and 3, I'm like, oh, yeah, have fun. We'll do that. Yeah.
I think a lot of it comes from. So we about to get real.
Come on.
A lot of it comes from the fact that I did not have a childhood. I don't
Yeah.
know what it's like to be a rambunctious 7-year-old.
Yeah. See,
Free
that
to do
makes sense.
what you want to do, access to different. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
My mom worked in retail all my life, and so imagine she worked really crazy hours. So we were at home by ourselves most of the time, or at my grandmother's house
Yeah.
most of the time. The only thing I can say was the sweetest part of my childhood was when I would be at my aunt's house with my cousin, and we would walk the streets of Fifth Ward Or I would be at my grandmother's house with my cousin, and this same cousin, and we would walk the streets of South Park. But really, walking the streets was the only thing that we did as kids. We didn't go bike riding. We didn't go to a jump place every weekend. We didn't go to the zoo every once a week. We didn't go to the museum. We didn't do those things. My mom, she did the best she could. She took us on vacation to San Antonio every summer. You know, we went to SeaWorld, we went to Six Flags. I did have who remembers Astro World? I had an Astro World pass every year for like 3 or 4 years. But I'm talking about just being free to just be a kid on a daily basis.
Yes.
I did not have that luxury. And so I unfortunately, because the cousin that I hung out with, she was older than me. She was a few years older than me. So I just didn't have that luxury of just being a kid on a regular everyday basis. I had to be a big girl a lot of the times. I had chores I had to do. I had to watch after my sister. I had to, I had to be grown before I wanted to be grown. And so
Had to grow up fast.
Right, I had to grow up fast, and so I don't know what being a kid like London and Autumn looks. He does, because he got that opportunity. He had a stay at home mom. They had a very stable life. They moved a couple of times, but
my house was my playground.
they used to go outside and play. His mom sat down and played board games.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
So I'm curious to even ask Jonathan that, like, how was that experience coming from, 2-parent home? Because there's so many people that come from a single family home, right? There's a lot of that goes on. Right. And that needs to be spoken of, because we don't need to keep normalizing single family homes. And I know a lot of strong women, they taking care of their children. They're doing it by themselves. They're actually being forced to do it by themselves. But, God never intended it to be that way. Right. So that needs to be spoken to. But even that, though, how was that experience coming from a 2-parent home? Because, for me, like I said, I don't know what that was. So, and then your wife, like she said, she had to grow fast.
Yeah, so for me, for a 2-parent home, you see a type of balance where you are free to be who you are, and free to venture into being a child. You get to observe some type of order in the home. You get to also get to observe what you see, the love between your parents, and how it looks. You know what I'm saying? You get to see a healthy love look. But however, also on the other side too, you're not aware of what it does not look like. You know what I'm saying? You're not aware of the other side, because my conscience was never tied in to seeing a home that does not have both parents in the household. Like all my friends, all of them had their parents. They had mom and dad. So my conscience always saw mom and dad in their children. Mom and dad in their children. We outside playing. We outside doing this. Outside doing that. You see order at home. You see the father outside cutting the yard, watering the grass. You know what I mean? Washing the car, changing the oil outside. Mom inside, cooking and cleaning, like that. So I saw a lot of role playing going on between mom and dad, rotating between husband and wife. I got to see that unity, and also too, like, be in between that unity and following that unity all day long. So I got to see that a whole lot. So in my mindset, like, going into marriage and going into having children, I always carried that piece with me coming in.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to like parenting thing, go back to the parenting thing, it makes it different for me. Like, my temperature is a whole lot different, because I remember I used to be in that position. Like, just make an example. Like yesterday, our middle daughter, she was just off the wall. She couldn't be still. She wanted to play and have fun, everything like that. But with me, I found a way to be clever and get her to have fun without going crazy. Because I used to be the kid. So I say now I'm a good observer over being a kid now. So I found out ways to make her, okay, we're gonna play this game how to stay still. So when I say stop, you stop. If I say go, you go. I say go run around the table like 5 times.
Yeah.
Let me feel your heartbeat. I feel a heartbeat real quick. I mama said she get tired. I'm gonna tire her out and make her sit down and chill. See, like so like she know all that was happening to her, but I remember that I used to be a kid, so I found out to get her energy and still have fun without being disciplined to where like she cannot be a kid. So I did all that. So I took that on with me being a 2-parent household and watching
That's good.
kids and everything like that. You know, that part really helped me oversee things and see things from that perspective of being balanced in that part of it.
I definitely think that being in a 2-parent household allowed him to be a kid.
Yo, that's so true.
He wasn't made to be responsible for things that
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
other kids in single parent homes are responsible for.
That's right. That's so true.
Responsible for each other, and he was able to just have to. All he had to worry about was kid things. He didn't have to worry about grown up things, and
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And we're having this debate on all platforms pretty much because of a post that we did about about a month ago, and everybody. I mean, I even had someone go as far as email me because she was so upset by me saying 2-parent households are necessary that she was going to unfollow, but felt like she wanted to email me first, I guess, to give me a chance to rectify what I said. But I
Yeah.
did not. I stand on business about that because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm not saying that children from one parent homes, single parent homes, don't grow up to be amazing human beings.
Sure. Right.
I'm not talking about the kids and how they grow up.
Right.
I'm talking about you.
That's right.
You did not deserve to have to carry that baton all by yourself.
Right. That's
And in
right.
the video that we are discussing this in, Jonathan steps in to support me when
Yes.
Rain thought it was okay to spit on me that morning while he was in the shower. Hey, and so
It's
at
good, Jonathan. That's good.
at the end of the day, I was talking about having that support. I wasn't
Yes.
talking about having a 2-parent household for the kids. Hey, if y'all can figure out how to co-parent or whatever your situation is, great. If you figured out how to help your children thrive without a father in their life, great. But at the end of the day, I'm talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Right.
talking about you. I watched my mom have to be mom and dad my whole
Yeah.
life.
And
And
that's never.
the
Yeah.
softness I needed from her because she felt like she always had to be hard because she felt like that's what I needed more. But no, I needed you to be soft
Come
with
on.
me
That's
too.
good.
But she didn't have an opportunity to be soft with me because my dad wasn't there to be
Right.
that hardest. Now, don't get me wrong, our roles are flipped. He's the soft one, I'm the hard one. But at least I get to be hard, and my kids do
Right.
get the softer side of love. They get the hard
Absolutely.
love and they get the soft love. At the end of the day, it's all about that balance. And
That balance makes a difference.
you
Yeah, it makes a
cannot
difference.
tell me
Yes.
that you did not want at some point in raising your kids to pass that baton. And it builds a mindset. I struggle so bad to let Jonathan be a parent because in my head, I do think I gotta handle it all.
Yep.
When he was working and working crazy hours and I was left to be here by myself, I grew accustomed to doing it all by myself very quick because that's what I saw growing up.
That's right.
And I hate that for myself. I hate that I'm
Yeah.
too accustomed to doing this parent thing alone. And so
That's
now
right.
he's here to do it with me. I struggle so badly to pass that baton to him. Whether it's helping me do something around the house for the kids, or just do something around the house, period, or just parenting the kids all together. I struggle. We were just in Branson, and he on the way home, we were having a really deep conversation about an incident that happened in Branson, and he was just like, "I'm just trying to figure out where I place here."
Come
I'm
on.
just trying to figure out where do I place it? Like
Yeah.
where am I needed? Because I'm not feeling like I have a space. And
Yeah.
I was like, dang,
Yeah.
dang. He
Yeah.
might be right. He
He
might
has a
be
voice
right.
too. Right.
He has
Yeah.
a
He has a
voice
voice
too.
too.
And it needs to be
So
heard. London needs to hear
yes.
him just as much as she needs to hear me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
but because I in my head, I am programmed to do it all alone, figure it out, and leave
Yeah.
myself and be this independent person because that's how I was raised. It's
Yeah.
so much more than you raising kids to be scholars. You
That's
raising
right.
kids to be, you know, one person said in a text in a comment today on that post that you love the matching colors. I know we vibing. We vibing.
Come on.
And that
Come
wasn't
on now.
a purpose. So
That's good.
the comment said that their one of their kids owns their own business. Their kids are respectful. Their kids are thriving in life. That's wonderful, and I'm so happy for
Absolutely.
you. But psychologically, you cannot tell me your kids didn't adapt to ways that can definitely hurt them when they are in a marriage co-parenting
Absolutely.
situation
Absolutely.
They never had a chance to put that into their
to
conscience. They
see what
never
that
saw it.
balance look
And
like.
also too, as well,
Yes.
like back with the parenting thing, and like this single home parenting thing, it's just that when you have the other parent in there, and if the child is wrong, the child get to see the mom's perspective or the dad's perspective being supported by the other person, so they can grasp a little bit more to understand it, because it ain't just mommy telling you something, it's also telling you something. So now I can see it, not just from her perspective, like I'm just dealing with her all the time. Now, okay, dad's coming in and telling me the same thing too. So it kind of latches on a little bit differently, because you got both people coming in. So you got one behind the others on the same on the same frequency when it comes to parenting. So the child has that perspective. Like, okay, I see where I'm at now. You know, it's two against one, but it's a righteous two against one, because now I see where I'm on or wrong at. I can't. It's not just one against one.
Good,
That's
man.
really good. I know in our household we make sure that the kids know that we are in unison. I don't care
We
if
are a
he
united front,
listen.
baby.
Come on, we don't
Yes.
listen because them kids will play you against each other.
We are
It's
we
smart.
you cannot now there there are times where I'm like I said, I'm the stricter parent. So there are times where he makes a parental decision when I'm not around to let the girls do something I typically won't let them do. And he'll tell them, don't worry, I won't tell you, mom. He always does. But he makes them feel like, you know, you safe here. Don't worry. You had it.
Yeah.
I know your mama said no, but go ahead, get it, and that's it. And like I'll come back and be like, "What are you eating?" And I look at him like, and he'd be like, "Come on, baby, it's just a cookie." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, that's fine." Like at the end of
That's
the
good.
day,
Give them baby some grace a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, like give him a
And
little
y'all create a
grace.
nice balance, man. Y'all create that
Yeah.
atmosphere for the children to grow and learn and development. So that is powerful, you know. And that's what children need to be children. And when children are coming from single parent homes, they're forced to grow up sooner than
Yep.
what they ought to be. And it just causes problems in their adulthood. It really does.
Yep.
Because, you
Yep.
know, when they become adult, they could be dealing with insecurities, fears. I mean, you name it. The list goes on. So I'm definitely standing on being an advocate for marriage and being there for one another, raising those children together.
Yes.
So I
Absolutely.
stand with y'all, man. Gross ways, y'all. Yeah, y'all did the right thing with that comment, that post.
I mean, and at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I come from a single parent home, so of course I commend anyone that raises their kids. They're like a one parent home is better than a toxic two parent home. I get that, I agree.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, so therefore I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. This message
Yeah.
isn't for you. This message is for people who are still single with no children and have an opportunity to have that whole dynamic. This is
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
for the people who are, wondering how they can make sure that they don't become single parents.
That's
Don't
right.
listen to God inside of you. If you meet this person and they give you a red flag and then another red flag and then another red flag, God, don't pray for signs for God and then don't want to see them. See them and go the
That's
opposite
right.
direction because it's
That's
not
right.
it's for you. And you're gonna know it, you're gonna feel it. When you connect deeply with him, you're gonna know it. You're gonna feel it right off the bat. There's going to be so many signs pointing upward. There's gonna be so many green flags that if there is a red flag, it's the tiniest red flag. And them
Yeah.
green flags so big and so bright and waving so hard that red flag is smothered. That red flag can't even be seen. At the end of the day, that's when you know, okay, gonna go through some hard times. I'm not saying you're gonna get married and not go through some hard times.
Right. That's right.
Hard times, but your family will be holding it in when y'all are God ordained. When
That's
you
right. Come on.
want it and make sure you do whatever it takes to keep it. At the end of the
Yes.
day, God ordained.
That's so
So
good.
that's what the message is for. The message is not for people who are already single parents.
That's
Because
right.
you've already done that, you've already adapted to that life, you already.
That's right.
It is not a badge of honor to be worn proudly. You need
That's
to
right. Come on.
make the best out of this situation, but make sure your kids understand they are never to put themselves in this situation ever, ever.
That's
As they get older, we're breaking this curse right now. Don't do it. Don't make the same mistakes I did.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely. I love that back.
So how do you guys handle intimacy in public?
Oh, you said last. What's the before last?
Good question.
I mean,
Because intimacy is huge in marriage.
Jonathan was the
yeah,
most.
making over here. Come on.
Jonathan
on,
was
Jonathan.
the most private
Yes, I
man
was.
I have ever met when I met him. And I am Caribbean American. My dad is Trinidadian, so I am the least private person, especially when it comes to intimacy, that you've ever met. I would totally, even in this body I'm in now, this 50-pound body I'm in now, would totally be at Carnival in one of them skimpy little outfits on the street in Trinidad. You understand? Like I'm not a shy person when it comes to intimacy, sexuality, and things like that. So I don't have a problem. Listen. When you see us, if we're kissing, just be like, oh, and move on. Don't get mad. Listen, it is our job to show the public this is what real love look like. This is what it feel like. This is what it act like. At the end of the day,
My wife will tell you. I love out loud. You know, I'm always
love out loud.
I'm always kissing on her, grabbing on her. I mean, that's just I'm
Yes.
affectionate. You know, that's one of my love language. I love affection. So we could be at Walmart, Target. I don't care where we at. You know, I'm holding hands. I'm doing it all. I still open up doors. You may want to call it old school, but I love all of that. You know, I'm very
He will
affectionate,
straight up
man. And
knock me
we'll
to the side to open the door.
You touch that door, girl. You touch that handle.
You know,
Yes, I
I'm
mean,
I'm in church sometimes. I'm looking over, leaning over for a kiss at church. She's like, "We at church." I'm like, "Okay."
Man,
We
in the
church.
house, Lord, oh, Lord, the God ordained that kiss.
One thing I learned.
Come
God
on.
approves.
Yes,
God
Come
approves.
on. Tell her again. See, Johnny's tell her again. Ain't nothing wrong with kissing her at church.
God ordained that one right there. Come on with it.
Man.
Somebody said lots of sex too. That's right.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
Intimacy in the public.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. See, think about this, Dave. Once you are intimate in the public,
Right.
you know, you are having this feeling you want to express in the moment, and you know, it's like carpe diem. You know what I mean? Like you gotta seize the moment because that moment might not ever be there ever again. You know what's happening tomorrow. So today, I'm gonna slob you down. I'm gonna pull you behind one of these columns and kiss on you, hug on you, smooch on you, whatever. Because me feeling in that moment, you gotta express those feelings out.
Yeah.
Because you never know where it is. Because like I used to always struggle to live in the moment with her. Like she have a moment where she wanna kiss me, she wanna hug on me, things like that. And say, hey, live in the moment.
I'm gonna tell y'all.
We can't wait till tonight.
I'm gonna tell y'all when that conversation happened. So he knocked out. The girls would be knocked out. Say I put them to bed. He would be at work until 1:00 in the morning. And when he come home, I've been thinking about this man all day.
At the front door.
I've been thinking about and preparing myself for this man all day. So when he come through the door, ain't no all that formality. Let's go to the bed. They said, no, we're not doing that. And so he'll come through the door, and I'm scary, and so I lock both locks, and so he'll come through the door. and he'll give me a little knock so I can know he's there, and I'll unlock the top lock, and I'll meet him at the door and what I know he like. Okay. I'm kissing him at the door. I'm unbuckling his, and he's like struggling to just let go. He still got his briefcase in his hand. He's he's like
Jonathan,
pushing
hey
towards
Jonathan,
the
throw
door.
that briefcase, Jonathan. Throw that briefcase out the
You.
way. Look, this ain't time to be carrying that briefcase.
My hand, like,
Hey, throw that briefcase.
If you don't listen,
yes.
and he was like, "Oh, I was just trying to make it." I'm like,
I think we both gonna throw that briefcase.
Man, I'm getting rid of
"Throw
the
that
briefcase.
daggone briefcase."
My thoughts is this: I didn't get married to to not let loose. I'm married now, so I'm finna we gonna have some fun, and we can do what we want. I got God's approval. Oh, we finna have some fun. So, hey, no hold bars right on now.
Thank you.
So
like,
that's how I look at that.
You better put me right on that floor right there, right on top of that desk by that door, and let's do what we do. Like at the end of the day, I go to the bed. I want
Johnny don't be playing. See, Johnny say, I ain't experienced that. Johnny said,
Well, I didn't get married to play around. I didn't get married to play.
I don't need no blanket. Don't worry about no cushions and all that. I don't need that. I tell that. I'm fluffy. I don't need. I'm the fluffy. Just put it down there, and we got a desk right by the door. Look, clear that thing and throw me over that thing. Like at the end of the day, at the end of the day, that's what I need. That's you just let go.
Yeah.
Just let go and let God. Okay.
You just gotta let go. Live in the moment. Live in that moment, Jonathan.
Yeah, like live in the moment.
Yeah.
Like he was struggling so bad. Yeah. And I get it. He had just gotten off of it. In my mind, though, I'm thinking, you just got off from work, so this gonna make you happy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But then what y'all don't understand is the insecurities that puts on us when you like. I used to be like, so is it me? Remember, now I done had at least 2 kids at this point.
Yeah.
And I just, is it me? Is it the weight gain? Is it the stretch marks? Is it the cellulite? Is it the acne? Like, am I not attractive to you anymore?
Come on.
And he was like, no, that's not it. So what is it? And he was like, I don't know. I just think I get in my head. I come in the house and I guess because I didn't expect it. I'm like, but that's the beauty of being married.
That's the.
You ain't gotta expect it.
You don't have to be on schedule, right? This don't have
to
be routine. Yeah.
And after we had that conversation, he let loose and he took me right there. Next time it happened, he took me right there in that toilet. And
That's trying to put me away now. You been so much.
Now that he ain't got nothing but time.
Come on.
I swear I can't even look at him in a way that's outside of just regular. He like,
come on.
Oh, I know what you want. No, that's not what I want. No, we got things to do. No,
That's it,
no,
Jonathan.
No, that's not what
Hey,
I want.
I'm supporting all that, bro. I'm supporting that. I'm telling you, when my wife get to walking through,
can't go.
She could be in there cooking. She could be in there cooking, Jonathan. I'm like, okay, I'm just coming in there. I'm messing with it. Like, it don't make a difference what she doing. I'm like, I just get to enjoy all this. I'm like, I'm thankful every day. I'm happy.
Yeah.
What about the kids? They be in their room with the door closed.
They be sleep.
What about the kids?
Our kids close their door at night. They be in the room with the door closed. Don't you worry
the kids got a bedtime.
I refuse to do anything with a kid. Like Rain is currently in our room. We're moving her out though. We're done nursing. So, and it's crazy because we got done nursing. She finally stopped waking up because the reason why is because she was still waking up in the middle of the night. And homegirl got right back to that. Was going through a sleep regression. So she back to waking up in the middle of the night. But I refuse. If we about to do it in this room, she got to go. So he would pick her up, put her on the couch. and but the kids, they be in a room and
Yeah.
the doors closed,
Yeah.
and we don't. But thank God now we're here full time together now, and so they go to school 8 hours a day, nothing but
Come
time.
on.
I can't remember the last time we did it at night.
Right.
Take
Use them
time
school hours.
I muffled,
Yeah.
like I ain't gotta
I
be
tell
whispering.
I be telling
I ain't
her,
gotta put my hand over my
hey,
mouth.
I be telling her,
Come
hey,
on. Seriously.
be ready when I get home.
Yeah, he'll tell me that. He'll be like, I'm taking the girls to school. I just
Come
want you
on.
to know when I get back,
Come
have
on.
all of that you got on.
Come on,
And as
John.
soon as he come home, I'll be laying on the bed. My birthday suit, and he'd be like, "That's right, let's get."
Come
And it's
on.
like,
Come
as soon
on.
as he come
That's what
home,
I'm talking about, John.
yeah, like at the end
Seriously.
of
I
the
set
day,
it up.
we don't have that
Man,
problem
seriously.
now. But yeah,
Yeah.
the kids be in their room with their
Yeah.
door closed. We don't play that. And I tell them all the time, listen, when this door get closed at night, you don't come back out of it, okay?
Come
Go
on.
to the bathroom before we put you to sleep.
Yeah.
And I believe in bedtimes even during the summer. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll
Bedtime.
extend your bedtime from 8:30 to 10. But once 10 o'clock comes,
It's over.
go to bed.
Because that quality time is important. You got to make quality time in your marriage. That's important.
It is.
Yeah. Quality time.
Our middle baby asked that question. She said every time we tell her, "Yeah, y'all going over your granny's house so we can do this," or y'all got to go to bed because daddy and mommy got a movie date that we're trying to get to. Not out the house, but here at home. And they'll be like, "Well, we want to watch a movie too. We want to," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, that's great. We will have family movie night tomorrow.
Right.
But today we're gonna have mommy and daddy movie night.
That's
Why?
right.
Why can't we watch a movie with you? Because I have to be Janice, the
Right.
wife, and he has to be Jonathan, the husband.
Yeah.
Come on.
We can't
That's right.
always be
Right.
mommy and daddy.
Yes.
No,
It is
not all the
you
time.
see this life you love so much. Well, in order for us to upkeep this, to
That's right.
sustain this life, we have to remember the life we had before y'all were born.
That's right.
Come on.
That's
We
right.
have to keep up that connection that we had that got y'all here. Our
That's
children,
right.
we have a 10-year-old going through, women, female changes every month. So at the end of the day, they know how babies get here. They know,
Yeah.
they know what happened and how that happened. So at the end of the day, I am really big on making sure that they understand. Mommy and daddy gotta be husband and wife first
Gotta have that time.
in order for us to be effective as mom and dad. In
This-
order
this
for
how it all
us to,
started.
we have to fill up each other's cup
Absolutely.
and overflow
That's
onto
the
y'all.
foundation. You gotta keep that foundation
Absolutely.
strong, foundation alive. Keep it like keep it brand new. Keep it brand new.
That's right. And another thing we have to remember, I tell my wife, one day them kids are gonna graduate, they're gonna start their own lives, and it's just
They're
gonna
gonna
be
be
us.
gone.
So we learning to enjoy each other each day because they're not gonna always be around. They're
No.
gonna start their own lives one day.
Yep.
So I'm very mindful of that.
They're not.
That's so
They're gonna
true.
be gone.
Yeah.
Now, was there ever a time in marriage that y'all withheld?
So when we fast with the church, we do.
Yes, we did.
Without the fast.
Without the fast, no.
Oh no.
We are like, I'm not gonna lie. There's been times where he was coming forward, and I really wasn't in the mood at first. But I just feel like while sex is not the most important part of marriage,
Right.
that it is a vital part of fostering that connection.
Yes.
I tell this all the time. People ask us about abstinence all the time, and I'm 100% for it.
Yeah.
And I think he agrees. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, sex before marriage it don't hold a candle to
That's
sex
right.
within that union.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
right.
much more than the physical pleasure.
Yes.
There's been times, even now, 12
We
years
agree.
later, we genuinely cry when we have sex with each other because it's such a beautiful moment,
It
and
really is.
it's a
It's a sacred
it's
connection.
a sacred connection.
It's a
And
sacred
so
connection, yeah. And it's so much peace. It's so much peace. You don't feel the guilt, the shame, sex before marriage, man, it was just so much that came with it, right?
Oh
Yeah.
Marriage, man, is just such a blessing.
Yeah, it is.
You don't
It
feel
really
that
is.
condemnation, that regret, and all that other stuff that
Oh
you
yeah.
feel.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Man, it really is such a
Listen, now I wish
beautiful
I just saved
thing.
myself for you the whole time. That's how you
And I
feeling.
say that all the
Yeah.
time. I'm like, I really wish
Yeah.
I would have saved myself for you. Like, I
Right.
really, really wish every day I would have just saved myself for you.
Yeah.
And he agrees with that notion. Like, at the end of the day, I think that, and so when it comes to withholding, when I'm tired, I I love him so much that I know I'm gonna give him a move. Once we get started,
Yeah.
I'll pick up, and he recognizes that I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he's really, really good at being gentle with me
Yeah.
in the beginning of it until I warm
Raise
up.
that
Kind
the
of like,
O2 levels up.
I'm kind of like,
Right.
kind of like that old Cadillac that you got to go
Yeah.
outside and you got to cut it on, let that
Crank it
thing
up.
warm up before you go full throttle on the road.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like at the end of the day, he's really good. But I'm not gonna lie, there's been times like I'll be dead asleep on the couch and I'm laying in a certain position that made
Yeah.
him froggy and made him feel froggy.
Yeah.
Come
And
on. I feel you, Jay.
I am awakened to him kissing me, picking me up and carrying me to the bed and things like that.
Yeah.
And the next morning I'll wake up and be like, what? Because I'm thinking it was a dream. Because the last thing I remember is I was asleep.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, baby, you was laying there and your robe didn't quite pull all the way over. And so I saw what I saw, and I had to have it. And
Man.
so I was like, oh, so the dream was real. He was like, oh, it was real. I was like,
real.
okay.
It was real.
And I give into it. When he wakes me up, I'm like, okay, we're doing this. And that's that. Because when we were dating and we were intimate, we weren't intimate the entire time we were dating because a year into our relationship, I did develop cervical cancer. And so when we were dating, hold on, it's my mama. When we were dating, I would I'd be asleep and I roll over 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Rub that thing.
Game time.
And he would wake up.
Come on. Game time.
It took me a few tries to signal a man. The back signal wasn't bright enough, so I had to brighten that back up a little bit. And when he got the signal, he would roll over. It wouldn't be no words. We would just get right. We would literally just get right into it. And so I give him that same grace. Like I give him that same love in return.
So good.
And so there's no withholding over here. When we want it, we want it.
Come on.
I know that's right.
Look, I'm in agreement with that.
Cheers.
That's good.
Amen.
Yes. It's an important thing, man.
See, I will not wake hubby up because I just feel so bad. He don't care, but I do. Listen, when you have kids, sex becomes so unconventional. Like it's not like there was at one point we had to schedule that thing. Y'all remember Friday?
On next Friday.
On next Friday,
Yeah.
It was like it's nasty time. Nasty time.
Yeah.
So we got to a point where we were like, it's been a whole week. It's been a whole 2 weeks. When is gonna happen? And so we started scheduling it in our joint calendar, and I labeled it nasty time.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to make that time.
What you got to do. So if it got to be 2
gotta
o'clock
make
in
that
the morning,
time.
because that's the only time you got to be 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's
If
it.
it got to be in the middle of the day, real quick, before y'all leave the house to go to this party or whatever, then you got to do what you got to do.
That's right.
I think
You got to make it happen.
Yeah, you got to make it happen. I think that's what happens in a lot of marriages. I think that you don't have nasty time every day. No. Okay, so no. Okay, so there are some times where we'll go 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's like 2 to 3, maybe 4 times a week, and it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
but it just depends on how we feel.
Mhm.
If we get it on Wednesday, and we still on that high, and Tuesday come, we looking at each other like a
Yep.
whole snack. We gonna go ahead and get it on Tuesday,
Yep.
and
That's
Wednesday
it.
come, and we just
We talking about Tuesday.
things
Remember
are still
Tuesday,
pumping.
Wednesday.
You know, get it on Wednesday, and
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
that time, we typically be like, okay, we can't do this no more.
We got things we gotta do.
We
Take
have
care of
life
business.
we have to take
We gotta
care
take
of.
care of
We have business we
And
have
most
to
of the
take
time,
care
it's
of.
always because we gotta take care of some business and do anything. If we had business to take care of, we probably be.
It probably be a little.
Yeah.
Just keep it real.
Yeah.
But I think that
Yeah.
it just depends on the two people.
Yeah. It
Everybody
does.
I
everybody
got different
has their
appetites. And different,
appetite,
yeah.
and
Yep.
so it just depends on the two people. But
It's true.
I definitely feel like I'm not saying that. I mean, there are men who you can give them to them a few times a day, and they'll still go cheat. But I think that we have to eliminate. We have to remember that in marriage, it is important to uphold
Yeah.
the covenant,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
Bible. My body
Yeah.
is his body, and his body
That's
is
right.
my body. It
That's
is
so true.
Bible. It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
And so I definitely encourage, like, have that conversation. Again,
Mhm.
premarital counseling. Like, this is all the things that need to be discussed prior
Yes. All on
to
the table.
marriage. Put it all on the
All
table.
that. All that.
Yes.
All on the table. Like, what is your sexual appetite? Like,
Yep.
what do you view as a healthy sex life?
Yep.
How will
That's
we
right.
navigate when the children come and now we're struggling to maintain this healthy
Yes.
appetite, this healthy sexual appetite? They complain about the passion after you've been together for a long time. How do you rebuild passion?
I think it always starts from really your foundation you have in your relationship with your love one. That foundation, you really gotta always revisit the foundation, and when we revisit that foundation really that's what you built yourself off of. So you gotta make sure you build a relationship on a rock, and you don't build it on sand. Once you build a relationship on a rock, you always have that good foundation.
To
You can
go
always
back to.
go back to that
Sometimes
beginning.
you got to bulldoze that house down and
Yep.
rebuild it from scratch
Rebuild it.
on
No
that
rock.
same
On
foundation
that
that
same
you built it
foundation.
on top of.
And once you got that, you will always be able to rebuild all the time because that foundation is always there, always never went away.
I think that what works for us is just revisiting things that sparked our love in the first place.
Yep.
Going
Yeah.
to going to certain, if there's a park y'all used to walk at
Yep.
before y'all got
Yes.
married, before y'all had kids, before y'all merged the finances, when love
Reminisce.
was light, when love
Come
was
on.
light and not so heavy,
Right.
when things
That's
were
important.
easier, when life was in favor of y'all's love. What did y'all do to make those butterflies flutter?
Right.
And go to that. Whether it's
Mhm.
we used to vacation all the time. Book something.
Mm-hmm.
Book
Yes.
even if it's a year from now,
Do it.
so you can save for it. Book something. If it's the
Intentionality.
beach,
Gotta be intentional.
if it's
Yeah,
the
that's so
beach,
important.
if it's the park, if it's a certain movie y'all used to watch,
Do it.
if it's a certain video game y'all used to play together, or a certain board game y'all used to pull that thing out.
Pull it out.
That's
Pull
right.
that thing out and remember why y'all fell in love in the first
That's how you.
place.
That's great advice. That's great advice.
That's really good. Let's not forget to pray for the young lady. She said she's praying for she's need a godly husband. So we want to definitely make sure we pray for her,
Yeah, we
y'all.
got that.
Definitely.
That for you, sis. We claiming that for you in your life. You
Yes.
having that,
Yes.
and we gonna pray for you. That God
And
get
don't
your
sell
heart.
it till you find it.
Don't sell it to you.
Come on.
Yes.
Settle till you find it, because what's meant for you will never pass you. And at the end of the day, God's timing is always sufficient. So don't settle for anything less in the meantime, because then you'll miss the one God already created for you. He's just waiting for your paths to cross and for your lives to align for you to get there.
In the meantime, like I say, you just build your love frequency up. Like what type of husband that you want, type of husband you're looking for, every single quality that you're looking for.
Make sure that you're prepared to be the wife.
Gauge.
That's right.
Be the wife prepared, but make sure you're prepared to be the wife that's gonna earn it and deserve it. That's one thing that I didn't do. I didn't realize that if I wanted a good man, I needed to be a good woman.
Absolutely. Yep.
I didn't realize that if I wanted a good man, I needed to be prepared to be a good wife. I wasn't raised to know how to be a good wife. My mom didn't give me an opportunity to show that. And so I think that, it is important in your singleness. While I know you want that love, prepare yourself.
Preparation is important.
Preparation is key, because what God has for you is going to be for you, but you are going to have to do the work to sustain it so that it stays for you.
That readiness. You gotta be ready.
Just because He gave it to you don't mean it won't go away.
You can't just chill.
You have to be prepared to sustain it long term. And so I always tell people, getting married is like a rebirth. It is a rebirth. Your old self got to go.
It ain't marry and chill. It's
That's right.
It's marry and build. You keep building all the time. Y'all building some great things together. It is.
That's so true. Yeah, we definitely gonna lift her up in prayer, because marriage is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But you, like Johnny said, you gotta work at that thing. It's definitely working. You gotta be prepared to receive that husband. Because if you're not prepared,
it ain't gonna work.
You gotta be in a position. You gotta be in that position of unconditional love, because that's what's gonna be warranted in marriage. Loving your wife and loving each other unconditionally.
Yep, definitely work on self, perfect you, woman of God, while you're waiting. Perfect your character,
So true.
The way you talk. I will just be perfecting it as I will be waiting for that man of God.
So true.
Yes.
God knows what a wife looks like, so it'll come to you. That's so true.
It definitely will.
And feel free to drop questions, y'all, in the chat. Because
any questions in the chat, feel free to ask them. You know how we are, y'all. We answer all the questions.
Talk. We like to make it about y'all, about us.
Right.
Yeah, we want to see the comments.
Both sides, we got
like, comment, share.
Yeah, we got 27 years of marriage experience combined with us together. So, whatever we can share, it's a good thing.
You have to please each other. Marriage is such a give and take. It's not a one-way street.
It's seasons. You go through some seasons, and you got to really say, hey, I might have 3 years of a season, 1 year of a good season, back to 3 years of a bad season, and then 4 years of a good season. It's up and down. It's fluid. You really got, as long as you got the right person, that person is like your ark. Like Noah's Ark. Y'all in an ark together, and y'all know and y'all realize it. Y'all ready for any kind of storm. Y'all ready for any kind of storm, because y'all built that ark together with God in the middle, and y'all staying in it. That's the type of person you want to have with you. That anything that you are up against, that is your person.
Come on, Maisha, with almost 8 years. Yes. Come on, 8 years. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Look, once you get past that 5, look, you know how when you reach 100K on YouTube, you get your plaque.
Yeah.
I feel like once you reach 5, everybody need to be God, everybody a plaque.
Yes.
That's true. Come on.
That's right.
That is so true.
You survived those 5 years of grace. Come on now.
You can make it.
Yes.
That's what a lot of people need to go into marriage, realize it don't matter how good two people are, y'all gonna go through something.
Oh yeah. There is no perfect marriage.
Come on.
I had somebody come in.
Storms.
I had somebody and say that they've been married for 6 months, and it It was tough. I said, "Oh, it should be. It
Man.
should be. You're not going through nothing. Nobody else is going through. It should be
Right.
Yeah.
because y'all are evolving.
Come
If it
on.
wasn't tough,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. That would mean you're being fake. You're not being your authentic self.
Yeah.
You're not giving
Right.
100%. And so
Yeah.
you it being tough. That's
Come on.
come
Yeah.
on. Question.
Come on,
What's
come
your
on, question.
question?
Yes.
Come on,
It
question.
being
Ready for you.
tough is a good thing
Yeah.
because that means y'all are peeling back layers.
Yes.
And peeling back layers is
I'm
hard.
tell you something. Once you go through that, go
Looking
through
in
that
the mirror
fire
is
together,
tough.
and y'all made it through it. And if you look into each other's eyes, you know that love is real. And that's the kind of person you want to have with you. You know, going through these tough
Right.
times.
Okay,
They still rocking
Gigi.
with you on the side. You still think about your marriage. And y'all think about y'all marriage at the same time. Just going through the storm together. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. It's fun to have someone with you at all times in there, and just loving you through it. Y'all loving each other through it. And once you get through it, you look at each other like, man, we did that. We did that. We
Mhm.
Yeah.
did that storm. You know, we achieved something. It builds confidence in your marriage. It builds things like we. Hey, I feel like what God
Yes.
put together for us is impenetrable. Nothing can go in it. Nothing can get inside of it. And that's kind of feeling you want to have in a marriage. So those problems that you do
That's so
have,
true.
it builds character in your marriage. It builds strength in your union.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
New to the
That's real
channel.
good.
I've been with my husband for almost 23 years. Come on now, 23 years. And I have to tell you, year 4 and 5 was the worst. Yep.
Yeah.
Those
Mm.
first 5, 6 years,
Yeah.
it's tough.
That missing that yin and yang,
Yes.
that harmony, trying to
It
harmonize
is
your
tough.
marriage. You're really trying to harmonize it. It's like you're trying to get your sound together where you in harmony. You sing to the choir, y'all sound good together. That's how you trying to get married. Same time you're trying to harmonize. It takes time to get there. You really gotta be patient and really just say, I really want this. I want this harmony in our marriage because I know that we both can harmonize together in life. We can balance each other out. You know, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's
That
lovely.
comment came from somebody on YouTube. She said it was, but ours was the worst
Yeah,
too.
it was yeah,
Our first few years, year
it was
one, two,
tough.
and three were really, really hard for
Yes,
us.
it was like meshing like clay and just
Really, really hard for us.
yes.
What is an example of the worst and how do you work through it? So, year one, two, and three for us, our communication was horrible.
Yes,
I was
Mhm.
Hmm.
We were fighting all the
fighting
time.
all the time.
Yeah.
I did grow an emotional connection with someone I worked with at
Mm-hmm.
work.
Yep.
So we dealt with emotional infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
How it made me feel like how we was not get along together and our communication was bad and
yeah,
our emotional love it was drifting away from her because it's what we was experiencing we wasn't really tight together and we had to rebuild that and get that back right. So that was some experiences that we did have. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, that's why it's always good to pray together and also too, communicate
Yes.
too. Things personally, you only can break it to your marriage. You gotta pray about that. Ask God to give you what you need in those moments to keep that marriage the way how God wants you to keep that marriage. So you always gotta be in prayer and always be there with Him and carry God with you at all times.
um,
That's so true, Jonathan. Man, that's good.
So for the
somebody said, why women think or feel they got to burn down the whole block before they go their way. Let me tell you something. Let me let me tell you something. Oh, we got another question on YouTube. Okay, so let me answer this question first. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you why. Because we have had to fight pretty much our whole life, right? A woman that is angry like that isn't angry. She wasn't born angry. She was not born frustrated. She was not born, feeling unheard. She wasn't born that way. That happened to her. The things that she has been through put her in that space. And so what happens is when you, as the man in her life, don't take the time to get to know those parts of her and don't take the time to figure out how to love her in a way where she doesn't feel like she has to be like that, then that's what you're gonna get. And you might not even be doing it intentionally. But Jonathan, when we first got married, when we were dating, we really didn't have that kind of problem. But when we first got married, life started hitting. He didn't like. I've been shut down. My feelings have never been valid. That being a pet peeve of mine, that was a thing that was developed in me because of things I had been through. My feelings had never been valid. I never felt validated ever. I never had anybody in my life that rooted me on and was my mom. She was going through so much when we were young that at the end of the day, I can't even fault her for not always being there for me emotionally as I would like for her to. But at the end of the day, I just So when I'm gaslit, when I got somebody telling me my feelings don't make sense, it frustrates me. It frustrates me. And I do not like being lied to. So if I feel like I'm getting half a truth from you, that's going to make me more angry because I've been lied to too many times. Keep in mind, I had one of my exes have a baby with my best friend. Another one of my
Wow.
exes followed another guy I was talking to. I poured all I had into him while he was over here falling in love with my friend. My ex cheated on me. I had another ex, my first, pull out gay. So at the end of the day, I done been lied to, manipulated, and mistreated for many years. So I do not like being lied to. That just irks me. It irks me to be lied to. These are things that at the end of the day, yeah, they seem trivial, but actually to be in a healthy marriage, being honest is the key.
Yeah.
Yes.
Validating your spouse's feelings is the key.
Yeah,
That's true.
you really got to put that perspective. Sometimes you refuse to see it because your perspective on it is not probably as escalated or expressed the way she expresses with her experiences in life. It's like if I had to put it in a way, it's like your brain is the computer and your central nervous system is the software. And the software might react differently from your software, which is a nervous system, and they go back to their brain like boom, that's how they react to it. So it's like it's their perspective on the situation. And you gotta say, you know what? Let me get out of my perspective and be the observer of her perspective, so I can see her perspective and find my way in her perspective to help her instead of saying, you know what? I'm observing your behavior. And I feel like your behavior is really, really bad. I feel like I'm leaving it right here at this situation. No, say, hey, look, I see your perspective. I see how you feel. But listen, when you see the situation, I want you to know I'm not trying to trigger that perspective on you. I'm not trying to trigger you for you to see that in that perspective. So that way you can help your loved one out and let you know that you're not the enemy. The enemy is how you see the situation. And that's why you help her navigate and go through the situation, but not going like she's the enemy. You need to fix that. You got to just do that. Be with her. Really, no, I'm loving you through this, and I'm loving you out of curiosity and out of love. And that way, you can help her out in that situation instead of being another piece of fire in the problem. Because now I gotta manage. Now I gotta have my filter on you. How you see me? It just get worse and worse and worse. So help her see her through it. So when she see you, it's like okay, he's not the, he doesn't contribute to my perspective anymore. I understand that and I see that now. I understand my husband not the problem. They're not the problem. The problem is just the problem itself.
Xander,
That's
Dad,
good.
yes, go ahead and say whatever it is. Your rebuttal. You about to rebuttal me? So hold on. Let's go over here though, because we got a couple of questions on YouTube. So has there ever been a time where you second guess getting married? Uh-huh. Yeah.
On a feel brief, yes,
I'm gonna
yes.
be honest with you. It wasn't because I didn't want to be married to him. I second guessed being married because I felt like maybe I wasn't cut out for it. Maybe I'm not supposed to be married. Maybe this wasn't something that I was.
That's what needs y'all counsel.
Listen, okay, get in this subscription group. And we can do one-on-one calls once a week with you,
Yeah, we
boo.
got you, man.
Come
We
on,
got
come
you.
on. It's $4.99 a month. $4.99 a month, and we can do
Yeah.
one-on-one calls with you once a month. This is not therapy. This is just family talking to family, godly advice, godly
Yeah.
counsel, subscription group.
That's good.
I'm just,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that it wasn't that I didn't want to be married to him. I just went through a phase where I didn't. I felt like I may not been cut out for this. Like maybe I'm not meant to be married. The link is on our page, so you got to go to our page and click the subscribe button that you see
Okay.
where it says email, subscribe, and that will take you to the subscription page.
Yes.
And then
Excellent.
DM us when you're ready to book the call. But yeah, I had to recognize I cannot be like this, because if this man leave me, that's really gonna tear me up. Like, I do not want
Yeah.
to be without him.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to be without him. So am I am self sabotaging this relationship, and I need
Mhm.
to stop before I really do lose the greatest
Yeah.
thing that ever happened to me, the person God has for me.
Yeah.
And I
True.
that was a very pivotal moment for me. Just recognizing that, oh shoot, like I really could lose this man. And
Yep.
because I used to say to him all the time, look, you should just leave me, because you're gonna leave me anyway.
Yep. You say it all
Or
the time.
I used to
Yep.
say it all the time. Or I
Yep.
used to be like, I don't even see how you're still with me. Like, why are we even still married? Like,
Yes.
I'm not a good wife. And he used to be like, it's not that you're not a good wife, but you're not allowing yourself to be the wife you could be. Like, you gotta
Yeah.
stop. You have to stop.
You got to actually hear it.
Yep.
You have to stop.
Yeah.
So I definitely did. Was there ever a time that you second guessed being married?
Oh yeah, yeah. Second time saying yes, like man, I feel like, but
When?
no, I mean not like want to be mad, but I was like, man, am I really cut
Yeah.
out for this? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I'm self talking myself, like I'm really cut out for this. You know what I mean? Like I always came back and saying like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm cut out for this.
I'm glad he
I'm ready
did
for
it.
this. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I never did listen to her.
I'm
You
glad he
know,
did.
that's the thing about communication and really knowing your wife, really knowing your person, knowing her before she became your wife, really talking and get to see her story, see how she reacts to certain situations,
Right
walking,
then, I'm
being a
yours.
great observer of who she is and what she represents and what in her life has caused her to go down this area. So I'm looking, I'm being a really good observer of her. So when I see her get mad, it's like now I know not to take it personal. That's the thing. I know not to take it personal. Like, it's not coming from me. It's not coming from me. Now, do I be upset that hey the temperature in the house is up? Yeah, but no, I
Okay, good.
tools to be able to change it and help her rearrange those feelings to where she can walk through it and see it and say, hey, like I'm being like medicine to her when she see me. Like, hey, I got you, right? I'm with you. I'm rocking with you, right? Like, you ain't gotta do all that. I'm not gonna put you in that kind of position to be that kind of way. And keep on showing up that way every single time. At the end of the day, you are really fighting for results. You're really fighting for results. You are fighting for the picture of marriage that God wants. So you stay really, really, really committed to that marriage. That's what I want to see in marriage.
Yeah. Was there ever a time where y'all second guessed being married?
You said it up. We second guess. I'm
Yeah.
sure in the beginning, I always
Yeah.
was like, well, this ain't,
This
this
ain't
ain't.
it. This is not the bee's
Yeah.
knees.
Mm-mm. No, because it was just so much, you have to work through. Like I said, with the having trauma,
Oh,
you picture in your mind, marriage is gonna be this and marriage is gonna be that. When you haven't had those examples, you go into the marriage blindsided, thinking you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta, work on nothing. And so for us, yes, we had definitely had times I was like, I'm out of here.
Yep.
yep. Those times.
And I wouldn't say second guess my love for him, but more so like, did I really do the right thing? Is this what I want to do? Like, is this what
Right.
I signed up for? So
It was never him. It was never him. It was always just the idea of marriage altogether. It was never him. And I hate that Did y'all unmute your Instagram?
Mm-mm.
You didn't?
Mm-mm.
So what happened?
Nope, it's the mute.
It's doing this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there you
Okay. Oh. Hold on. We were doing so good.
Yeah, we were.
Are we good now?
I do hear echo.
I do hear that
Whistling
echo coming
noise.
from somewhere.
Did y'all move your phone?
I did move it down, but it's still on mute.
So it shouldn't be interfering. But it can hear me, huh?
see it.
Okay, y'all good now? Good now. Okay. So
Good.
I hear many married couples say they only keep other married couples as close friends. Would you say this should be true? Single
100%.
people do.
That's right.
Yes.
So it would be very difficult for you to be friends with someone that is single, doing what single people do. I think that if y'all have been friends for a long time, I think that might be different, because if you've been friends for a long time, I think that it is very possible for your friend to love you so much where they adapt.
Yeah.
Willing, and they're ready to adapt to who you are and what you got going on now, and but if you're just meeting people and they're single, you could be friends with them, but there's gonna be limits.
You cut off when you bring in your marriage
Yeah,
custom, things like that.
they're
You're
not
like,
gonna
why you
understand
doing
why
all
you're
that?
not
You
making
know,
them a priority.
because everywhere you go, you always bring in your wife or your husband with you. Even if they're not with you, you represent that person all the time.
I'm a wife even when I'm not.
Come on.
That's right.
I'm a wife even when I'm with my friends and he at home. And so
Yes.
it's gonna just be automatic things that I am not going to be willing to do with you. And places I am not willing to go to. And so I definitely think that, married women get it. I feel like married women hold their friends accountable. Married women and married men hold their friends accountable a little bit more too. Like, I'm out with my friends and we see somebody cute and my eyes start wandering, they're gonna be like, get them eyes back over here. Look at your food. Look at us, but you better not look that way. Like, my eyes not wondering, but I'm just saying my friends are married. And so they're not going to allow me to even dream if I even thought about it. But a single person wouldn't understand the value of that type of accountability. A single person wouldn't understand that they need to uphold my marriage as well. And so that, like I said, unless you've been friends with somebody for years and years and years, and they love you enough to adapt to your new role in life, being friends with single folks, it'll get you in trouble.
It
John
will.
friends were single, but unfortunately, they left him out. Oh, Instagram cut off. Oh, the live video was paused. This don't make nobody sense. Hold on. Oh yeah, it cut off. Oh no, it's still on.
There you go. I'm connected in, so you got paused. There you go. Request to be joined.
Feel like it's going on my end. Let me see.
Can you go check on the girl?
Yeah, I'm back on.
Rain need to go to bed.
Is it still going on your end?
No, it asked me to request to join, so I just requested.
Hold on. Second, let me see. Oh. Tell me it's an error. An unexpected error occurred.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me get back out of it and get back in. So it keeps thinking that I am on this with you. End it, and we're going to have to get back into it.
I'm trying to do it, and
It won't let you.
Okay, let me see.
No, they need to go to bed. They need to turn the TV off. Time to turn it off.
Just a second. Okay, let's try it again. I'm gonna put this back up here too, by the way. We can just get on from Instagram because I think this is gonna run out of time here in a minute. You okay with just getting on Instagram?
Yeah.
So, y'all on Facebook and YouTube, follow us over on Instagram because we're gonna run out of time and we don't want the video to cut off.
Y'all, our Instagram is the same as our Facebook. You going to sleep? Good night. Love you too. Sweet dreams, baby. See you in the morning. It's saying IG is still in.
Okay, let me try. So we're gonna head over to IG. So it's gonna come.